So here's a message on appropriational rights for the educational matters, stemming from the law of assumption, now active on all grids, and Samirat Kar left, probably Harry left with Kayla or someone, or it's not his, Aaron, with Muhammad, Aaron left with Muhammad. So you all know, regarding the royalty bind, so imagine, as a personal quest after the gospel and all the dilemma between the kings of Israel and the Lord God, they decided to test it out, So say for like Jesus Rothschild Rockefeller, my dad, was being tested. And the royals decided, I don't know if they probably knew that that wasn't his daughter, and that there was a fake court case about that. Now I don't know if they were buddies with Nicholas tabrawi or not. Probably they were. To have Nicholas and Maya double team against Jesus, so that in itself, if that's how the scenario was, that's a personal assault on the United States of America, on an American citizen by the King of Wales. So why, right now, it's going this way, maybe terrestrials assimilate with like-minded consciousness, which might be royalty decrees. They're used to it. I don't know why they doubted my dad. I don't know what the matter was at that level. I don't know what was done. I don't know the intricacies. But I do know that my now new demeanor towards mission to be the 100% opposite of what I ever was, and not allow night rape, and now how the wannabes fake night rapes just to fake for belong, means that the systematics is foundationally wrong. So if the systematics of the planet is based on having a lady raped every night to then determine their eye color, and now they're setting up a game because they woke up Muhammad several times with blue eyes to pretend that due to his hacking from American University of Beirut, that's all the enemies of the United States of America. So just because something's called American, it doesn't mean much. Just because they have a Rockefeller building there and a nicely hall and whatever, it also doesn't mean much. And the Rockefellers, those are the people against me now in partiality for the cocaine agenda, because they want to continue the sight game and blame it all on me. So they're part of the people behind the scenes who made the deals with the Tabrawis to, send Aaron my way when I was just writing a letter to the White House, to the Bidens, and instead pretend that I was Mohammed Nasrallah doing a pact of cocaine on the stairs. That was the initial original cause for the Mohammed Nasrallah situation. To then create an AI-based reality where every one of these people will just have a part of me in them, and then they can pretend that they will create a progressive world out of the lack of advancement they've shown when it comes to me all along, which will not pan out. You will not be able to commence a progressive nation or planet based on false foundations, whereby originally you give them rights by them not appropriately using the Constitution. So you cannot, as Rockefellers, try to tell me now that you begin life with your God placing air in your nostrils, cocaine, in the beginning of your gospel, when he blew fucking cocaine up fucking Adam's fucking nostrils. That's the beginning of life, right there in your religion. Well, there's freedom of religion. And you cannot impose your rule over UFOs, and you cannot fake it and take Amber to court, who is not a Rockefeller, just to stand for your cocaine cause. You can't just be selective Americans like, oh, just because we will use a Nasrallah, and no. That is not seeking happiness. You are not being constitutional. Seeking happiness doesn't come from something outside yourself, from a plant, from something you sniff, or you're wrong. You're being wrong. So if this might be part of the reason why King Charles did what he did on a soul level, to then allow me to say, then and therefore I am grateful, so is my father, Jesus Rothschild Rockefeller, for now my power and strength and gaining back my power, setting up tents even in homes to reinforce the systematics of no rape. Because I'm not trying to be in competition with my wannabes. That's the last thing I can even think of. It's just the dumbest thing ever. And then since then, and I've reappropriated my femininity, my essence. When I do go to stores, I'm always loading up on cosmetics, creams, anything that would make me come out of this forced, unalivening, being fed other people's food, etc. Because I honestly and personally don't believe that King Charles, as his own entity, would want me as a lesser being than myself. That's not what he would want. He definitely would want me to operate at my highest vision version and at my best. He would want me to eat food at least appropriate for my body's needs. Why would he want me to eat the food of a sick person? That wouldn't be in the view of everything. I honestly, genuinely believe that. So, hence, I commenced my journey with Forsyth, and once we discovered that they were still messing with the food at Harris Theater then and there, because they were reinforcing the Amber and Mia agenda there, pretending that I'm some transgender, and the managers would run to me. Now, these managers don't ever show face on the floor anymore. Brad Berkeley's gone since he ran to me and was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, what? I thought that was like a special token of attention. Like, I felt like some royal was gonna give me a flower and a bouquet and come in a majestic manner. But then it was only to tell me majestically that they are saying that I'm transgender and that I have to give them my food that I had in my hands so that they medicate it before they give it back to me. And that made me livid at that. So I had to fight a really strong fight on the south end to now be able to go self-checkout, put them straight in my tent, and make sure nobody enters my tent. I had to go through super many locks to make sure that people cannot personally enter and modify the content of my food in the tent, which they're not entering. They have another tent up on north, and that's not the same. They don't enter my tent on the south end anymore. So I already overcame the Beccarelli with Luna Lola Shaptini and Amber Slippin, and that's something that they cannot undo. So now the cops cannot, no matter what they try, they will not be able to hire a dumb motherfucker from Bangladesh and try to tell him to come to my face and act dumb, because that's their last resort by now. They cannot go lower than this. It's over.